Hey everybody, Bill and Deb with I Ride Tiny House Adventures.
Good afternoon.
It is just a beautiful, gorgeous day here.
Yes, it is.
Here in the northwest corner of the Florida Peninsula. Did I get that right?
I have no idea. It's in Florida.
Somewhere, I'd say the temperature is probably approaching 80 right now, wouldn't you?
At least
sure feels like
70s.
it. Yeah. We just got back from a bike ride. It was an awesome bike ride.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll take you along one of these days.
Met some more nice people.
Yes, isn't that awesome? And that's really, I thank you for segueing like that.
Oh, it's okay.
You know, Deb and I were talking. We have met so many wonderful folks in the last 2.5 years or so of traveling.
Yes, it'll be 3 years in March.
Holy cow.
Yeah, I know.
I know. Anyway, and you know, a lot of these people that we have met along the way, of course, we become friends real quick with most of them, and many of them have said, "Hey, if you're ever in our area, feel free to come and park on our driveway." Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we've had
people.
so many people offer that to us. It's just unreal, and we appreciate it so much. So we got to thinking, okay, and I need to back up just a tad. A lot of you that watched our last video, you know that we now have 800 watts of solar on top of our trailer. And you know about our battery bank that we have and everything. But quite honestly, where we are parked right now at the moment, even though it's a beautiful day, keep in mind the sun is in the deep southern sky. So it's far from perfect as far as that goes.
As far as our solar panels.
Yeah, as far as solar is concerned. And also, we are under a lot of shade trees right here. The trailer's pretty much in the shade most of the time. So as far as solar's concerned, although we are getting some, it's really nothing to shout about.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we got to talking, and we thought, well, if we were to park on someone's driveway, and of course all they're really going to have is for us to plug into, if we needed to plug in, would be maybe a 15 amp outlet maybe in their garage or something.
Right.
You know? How could we survive there if we didn't have a lot of solar? Of course, if we had solar there, that would help a whole bunch as well. But how would we be able to survive there, or if we could, and still run everything that we have in our trailer, if we simply plugged the charger in and nothing else to their outlet? You know,
could we shower? Could we eat? Could we keep our heat going if we needed heat?
Could our inverter do the things that we wanted to do?
Exactly.
Yeah. So what we did, we conducted a test, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And so what we actually did, we went ahead and unplugged from the regular shore power that we have available to us at this campground. And we simply plugged in our charger and then switched on our 3,000 watt pure sine wave inverter and went pretty much a full day all through the night, and then cooked breakfast and took showers again the next morning.
And this is how we did it, huh?
Yeah. So we're fixing to show you that right now. So here we go. Before we move any further, there's something I want to show you about what I did to one particular receptacle that powers the charger on our system. And a lot of you out there know this, but there's a lot that don't know this. On a typical receptacle like this, if you were simply just to wire it up, and bring your hot and your hot and neutral line in, and of course your ground. Of course, you would tie your neutral here, your ground here. You'd tie your hot here, and under normal circumstances, it would make both of these hot at the same time. But there's something else that you can do, and they've used this particular method for many years. Like if you walk into a house where you have table lamps in the living room, and you can switch them through a plugged-in receptacle, and the bottom part of the receptacle will be on the switch leg, and the top part will be the hot side that's hot all the time. And the way you're able to do that, you have these little tabs right here. See that little tab right there? Now I've already broken this one off over here, but all you got to do, let's see if I can get in there, and I'm going to work that back and forth. There. Got it broke off right there. You see that? Now what that's done, that has separated these two, where now each one of these work independently of each other. Now I rigged up the receptacle that powers our charger, that charges our system, I did this to that receptacle that the charger is plugged into. Right down here, right there, that is our receptacle that powers our charger. Now the top part of this receptacle is powered by the panel when we are connected to shore power, which is what we have it set on right now. The bottom part here is independent of the top. I have a separate line coming into it from a separate 15 amp power inlet on the outside of the trailer, and I'm going to show you that here in just a little bit. So what's going on here is, when we're connected to shore power, we simply go ahead and plug it in right here at the top. When we plug into, say, someone's garage outlet, or plug in a generator here just to keep the charger going, and that's it, we would move this down to here, and then you know, bring the power source in to the outside power inlet that I'm going to show you here in just a little bit. So that way the charger can keep going, and we're going to do a test here just in a little bit and see how long we can get out of that. But first, let me show you how we've got this set up here. These are the positive and negative lines coming in off of our system, which is in this compartment right in here, coming straight in to our 3000 watt pure sine wave inverter. Now this sine wave inverter is set up for 24 volts, not 12, okay? But it's coming into there, and then of course it goes into our 50 amp automatic transfer switch. And right now the transfer switch has got us connected to shore power, but we're fixing to change things around here in a little bit and start running off of this here shortly. So anyway, now wiring this up, there was a unique way we had to wire this, but that will be a subject of another video. I'm going to go ahead and throw the switch on.
Let me turn the hot water tank off.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and turn the hot water tank off. All right, got the hot water, the water heater.
Sorry.
A lot of people don't like it when we say hot water tank. It's the water
it's a tank
heater.
And it makes hot water.
It's the tank that makes hot water. Right. Okay. We've had some comments about that.
Yeah.
I know. Anyway, let's go ahead and turn this on. Okay, now it's on. Now I do have a remote switch for this. It's a hardwired switch that simply plugs into the unit here, but I'm not going to install that until I get finished wrapping around the bed here, and then that switch will be right here where it's easily accessible. And of course right now we've got the stair tread off, so you can see this. It's easily removable. Here's the stair tread right here. So right here, this is the 15 amp, the separate 15 amp power inlet that I have coming in to the trailer right here, and this is wired directly into the bottom side, or the bottom receptacle part of that receptacle that I showed you inside the trailer where we plug the charger in. So now what we're going to do, we're going to go over here to the service pole, and I've already killed the breaker, as you can see right there, and I've already unplugged the main power source coming into the trailer, the shore power. Now, and what I had to do in order to do this, they don't have a separate 20 amp outlet on this particular service pole. I got a dog bone adapter here, so I can simply plug in and then plug in my regular drop cord. But keep in mind, this is only powering the charger and nothing else. All right, I've got it plugged in now. Now we'll go ahead and we're going to go ahead and throw this breaker back, and now it's on. So now let's go inside. All right, we're officially running off of our inverter right now, correct?
Yep, that's what you say.
But nothing
changed
when it switched
in here.
over, nothing changed.
Nothing
or anything?
beeped, nothing blinked, nothing. The coffee pot's still set, and normally when the electricity is off,
right,
for a second or two, I have to reset the coffee pot.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't go off at all.
Mm-hmm.
Refrigerator still running. Nothing.
So the automatic transfer switch did its thing and didn't have a break in power anywhere, you know, when it switched over, because we are now solely on our 3000 watt pure sine wave inverter. Now the next thing I need to do I'm going to go ahead and unplug this here, and I'm going to plug it in here. Now we're powering our charger from the shore power outside. And the only thing I can think of right now that is running is the refrigerator and the clock on the
coffee pot.
On the coffee pot, and that's it, right?
And the TV.
Well, yeah, because I got the TV on. I forgot about that. We're going to show you what we've got going on here. I'm screen mirroring our Bluetooth section of all of our peripherals to the TV, so you'll be able to see all the numbers that we got going on right now. Right now, Deb will be cooking something later today.
Yes, I will be running the toaster oven today because I have some pasta that we had the other night, and I'm going to heat it up with cheese.
Okay.
You know.
And when you turn that on, we will pull this back up on the screen and see what kind of power we got going on there. You know, what kind of draw we have going on there when we do that. Now, we did turn the water heater off.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I normally do that when we're on 30 amp, once I'm done with it.
Exactly. Yeah. Because the thing about this water heater, you can flip it on, and once you flip it on, it'll make hot water for showers and washing dishes and everything inside of 20 minutes. Right? And then we're in business, and then when we get done with all that, we can go ahead and turn it back off.
Right.
Right.
Because I don't know, I might need the heater, I might need the air conditioner, I might not need either, but I just try to make a habit of turning the hot water tank off after I get dishes washed up and we've had our showers.
Right. And this is something we've gotten used to when we're running on 30 amp anyway. When we're on 50 amp, it don't matter. We can let everything run all we want, doesn't matter at all. But when we're on 30 amp, since we are total electric, remember that, we are total electric, no propane, no nothing. When we're on 30 amp, we do try to think about, you know, turning off this appliance that we're not using or that appliance or whatever, and be more selective in how we run stuff. So this is how we're going to proceed while we're on the inverter. But anyway, let's look at these numbers right quick. I'm going to flip this around so you can see it on the screen. And first, let's see, we're in the shade right now. Let's see what kind of power we're coming in from the panels, and we don't have very much. You know, we're pulling in 38 watts. Keep in mind, the sun is over in the southern sky, so even though the panels are bringing some in, it's not a whole lot. So it will be working in conjunction, of course, with the charger. But you can see what we got coming in. We got, you know, it's bouncing around 40 to 41 volts. 0.9 amps is coming in. Our voltage right now is at 26.94. Anyway, you can see what's going on right there. So now let's flip over and see what the shunt shows before we look at the charger. This will tell us the state of our batteries. And honestly, a little bit ago, our batteries were at 98%. And they've jumped up to 99% right now. I should say our battery, not batteries. So we are at 99%. It's showing right now time remaining infinite. Of course, that would be if we're just staying, you know, with what we got going on right now. Things are going to change as we get into the evening tonight. Now let's see what the charger is doing, and this will be one reason why the battery bank has jumped up from 98 to 99. When the charger was plugged in earlier, before we started the test, it had already moved over to float. And since I unplugged it and then replugged it back in, it's automatically went into this mode right here. So it's currently pumping in 12 amps. I'm still learning, folks, and we're all going to learn together on this. So, you know, everything I say may not be totally accurate, but Marvin has been coaching me along, and I know a whole lot more now than I did before. And just give me a little time. I'll know a lot more as time goes on, of course. We hope anyway. But this is what's going on right now. All right, the time now is 2:06. Got that, Deb?
Yep.
And Deb's going to start some hot dogs here in a little bit, and we're going to have some hot dogs. We just went on a bike ride. It was a nice bike ride too, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, this is awesome weather. Awesome weather. We may end up having to turn the air conditioner on after all before the day's out.
Later this afternoon.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Deb's going to go ahead and start up her griddle. Plug it in and start.
Okay, it's at 350.
350 degrees. Just out of curiosity, let's go in and look at the shunt and see if it'll tell us what we're drawing. Let's go back over here, and our voltage has dropped down, and I heard the fan kick on the inverter. 956 watts. We're drawing 950, you know, right around 950 watts. 36.4 amps is what we're drawing here at the moment. With this thing running, it's showing all of a sudden our time remaining before we depleted the battery around 12 hours or a little bit less. So we'll go ahead and finish cooking the hot dogs here. We'll kind of keep an eye on this, and then after we get done, we'll see what happens, see how it builds it back up. Let's see if the charger did anything with that initial startup. It's now pumping 12 amps in. You can see that there. It's pumping 12 amps back in now. So we're going to kind of keep an eye on this. We're going to go ahead and finish making the hot dogs here, and we'll get back to you here in just a little bit. But first, there's one thing that I want to show you. You heard the fan kick on again on the inverter, which is normal. It should do that.
Yeah, because we are using electricity.
That's right. It's going to kick the fan on the inverter. But I want you to, because you know where it's at, I want you to see that we installed these little 2-inch vents all along this toe kick here to allow for more air circulation. So it is getting ventilated pretty good. Of course, we still got the open area here, which eventually will have a door on hinges right there, and I'll eventually be boxing all that in eventually, but we will also be adding more vents in that as well, so that we make sure that it's got plenty of ventilation, right? And the fan just kicked off. All right, we'll get back to you in just a little bit. All right, we just wrapped up eating lunch, and Deb got a shipment in today of her. What kind of tea is that, babe?
Oh, that is cinnamon orange tea.
Cinnamon orange tea.
Called Market Spice.
Market Spice. It's got a really, really good flavor, and you don't have to add sugar or nothing like that to make it taste good.
Exactly.
It tastes sweet all on its own, so it's pretty cool.
And for lunch, we had some of Jan's delicious pickles.
Oh, yeah. Of Jan and Johnny. Jan's delicious pickles. Oh, wow. So we're done eating lunch. She's turned the griddle off, of course. And we're going to look at the numbers again and see what it's doing right now. And let's see. Let's look and see what the charger is doing. Takes a minute for it to hook up. Then we're back into bulk charge. It's pumping in 12 amps now to bring the battery back up. We're at 26.81 volts. The fan is not kicking on anymore, by the way, on the inverter. And let's see if we're getting anything at all from the panels. We're getting 24, 23 watts, 0.7 amps coming in, voltage of 38, 35 to 38, roughly in there. So, here again, let me remind everyone, we are in the shade and the sun is in the southern sky. All right, it's 5:04 in the evening now, and the sun is going down. It usually starts, usually it's pretty much dark by 5:30, wouldn't you say? Yeah. And she's got something in the toaster oven right now, getting ready to fire it up. And how long are you going to have the toaster oven set on?
About 30 minutes, I think.
About 30 minutes or so to heat this up. But first, let's go ahead and look at some numbers. And one thing that we didn't film a little bit ago, she made us some hot tea a little while ago, and she used the microwave to do that. And I didn't realize that's what she was doing, or I would have been in here.
About it.
That's okay.
I just was doing my normal thing.
But that's all right. It doesn't matter. But before we fire this up, let's go ahead and look at the numbers again and see if we've recovered it all from everything we've been doing so far. So here we go. All right. Let's pull up the shunt right quick and see what it says. And it says that our state of charge is at 100%. Imagine that. And now we're back to time remaining as infinite. Now keep in mind, we do have the charger plugged in, and We got a little bit of solar during the day, but really not anything to brag about at all. So let's take a look and see what the charger is doing. Let's back that out and let's go down to the charger. That is being powered by the separate power inlet on the trailer. Now it's simply pumping in 8.4 amps, and our voltage is right at about 28.8 or so, right in there. So she's gonna go ahead and turn on the let's leave the charger up. Deb, why don't you go ahead and turn on the toaster oven, and let's see if the charger kicks in and starts pumping in more amps.
All right, I've got it on 350.
Okay.
It on bake, and I will set the timer for 30 minutes.
And it's cooking right now, right?
Yep.
All right. All right. Let's go back over here, and we're on the MPPT. We ain't gonna get nothing out of that. Let's go back to the charger and see if that changed anything. All right, now all of a sudden we're pumping in 12 amps again, because it took a big hit right there when we did that. So we're going to let it run here, and we'll be right back in just a little bit. All right, everybody, the toaster oven shut off just a little bit ago. Deb had it set on 30 minutes. And what are we having tonight for dinner, by the way?
It's a leftover pasta that I put cheese on and then put it in the oven and bake it so that the cheese is all melty. And
yeah, it's really good. I like it. It's really good. We've had it before like this.
That way, we get 2 meals out of pasta.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to walk up there and show them, because then they would want it. But anyway, it's hot. But while it was cooking, the inverter kicked the fan on and everything, and it it was trying to keep everything cool. Which I talked to Marvin while it was doing this, and he said that's normal. Don't worry about it. But anyway, now that it's done and everything is back, I went ahead and pulled up the smart shunt so we can look at it, and let's look at the numbers here right quick. And as you can see, now our batteries are at 94%. Of course, we're back now where we're not drawing a whole lot down on it. And it shows time remaining as infinite right now. And our voltage is at 26.74. Now let's go ahead and look at the charger. And I'll guarantee you it's pumping in 12 amps. Let's see what comes up here. Oh yeah, it's pumping in 12 amps. So it's going to go ahead and recover again, bring everything back up to snuff. I really think that it'll recover quite nicely in very short order, and everything will all settle down. What we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and eat dinner. Yeah.
The true test will be tomorrow morning.
That's right. But for now, what we're going to do, we're going to eat dinner. Then we're going to go back out to the gazebo while the stars are shining, and we're going to sip on a little wine. And I'm gonna just look at my wife and go,
whatever.
That used to work when we were 20 years younger, but it doesn't work that much anymore. I don't know why. Anyway, but we're gonna sip on a little bit of wine, then we'll come back in a little bit later. We're gonna watch a little TV tonight. All the while, everything will be recovering back to where it was, and then we will see you in the morning. Well, it's about, 7:50 this morning.
7:50.
Yeah. We just, we woke up around 5 o'clock or so, or I did, and then I woke Deb up.
Yeah.
And started a pot of coffee. We just been drinking coffee and watching several of our favorite YouTube videos. And the night went off without a hitch. I ran a fan all night because I like the ambient noise of the fan, and that's the only reason why. But when we looked this morning, our batteries were at a full 100%. And of course, then we turned on the coffee pot. And there was a couple of times there while the coffee pot was going on where we got up around 1200 watts or so draw, but then it leveled off around 9. And then once the coffee was done making and just the hot plate portion was working, it dropped off to about 200 watts.
So then we could put the heater on.
Yeah.
Take the chill out.
Yeah. It peaked out around, at one point, around 1300 watts. Then it settled down to around 900 watts. And we let it run for about an hour or so. And it would vary between 500 to 900 watts right in there, you know, when the heating element was kicking on, off and on, or however that the heat pump works. I'm not real familiar with the technology there. So, worked out real well so far. And we just turned on the water heater, and we'll show you what it's reading now.
The water heater is a hog.
Yeah, it's power hog. We're drawing, you know, between 1,300 and 1,400 watts right now. And of course, a while ago, before we turned on the water heater, where you see the part that says time remaining down there, it was showing infinite time remaining. Now it's dropped down to 3 hours and 55 minutes. We're going to let the water heater run here for about another 20 minutes, and then we'll take our showers, and then we'll turn it off, and then things will start to recover again. But then, of course, we'll be going right back to fixing breakfast, right?
That's the plan.
Have you decided what we're going to have this morning?
No.
Oh, really?
I'm still drinking coffee.
That's right. That's right. Well, what we're going to do, we're going to watch another one of our favorite YouTube videos here for a little bit.
Are we pulling any solar in yet?
Well, let's look. Let's look. I didn't check that, so let's see here. Let me flip this around. Get that back on that, and let's go over here. Because it's, here again, we're, you know,
in the shade,
we
and
get
I don't know if it's cloudy or not.
very little sun where we're at. Very little. Oh, yeah, we're pulling in a whopping 2 watts.
Well, I think it's really cloudy.
Yeah, I think we haven't really looked outside yet to see exactly what's going on.
No, Delilah was driving us crazy, so we let her go out. But
so, anyway, what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and let the water heater run for another 15 minutes or so. That's all it should take, all it should need to take to get to where we can do our showers and stuff like that. And then we'll go ahead and cook breakfast, and then we'll just do a short recap of everything. Okay?
Sounds like
all righty. So what are we having?
We're having ham, scrambled eggs, and toast.
All on the griddle.
All on the griddle.
And this is what we're doing here on the, as far as the power is concerned.
I did turn the hot water tank off.
Yeah, you mean the water heater.
The water heater.
Yeah, we don't want to, you know, trigger those that don't like the way we say it. Right?
Okay.
Oh, honey.
Mississippi wildflower honey.
Wow. Okay, breakfast is over.
Breakfast is over, dishes are done.
And then we went ahead and
killed the hot water tank and switched everything back to normal.
killed the water heater.
Oh, good. Yeah. I'm so sorry. It is a tank, though. It holds 7 gallons.
Well, it's just that you're so used to saying that one phrase for so many years, you know, without even thinking about it. And then we had some folks correct us here a while back when we used the wrong terms. So anyway, we're just trying to make everybody happy. Is that possible?
No. No, it is not.
Anyway, I guess the big question is, could we make it sitting on someone's driveway, running off of the 3,000 watt pure sine wave inverter with just simply the charger plugged in?
I would say yes.
As long as we're careful and we don't run too many items at once and allow plenty of time for the battery bank to recover in between.
Right.
Of course.
What would be helpful is if they cooked for us. Right?
True. And if we could come inside and use their shower and stuff like that.
No, I like my shower.
Yeah, we do like our shower. But yeah, no, we think we could do it. It's and here again, this is not a scientific test by any stretch of the imagination. No. This was just a test to see what we could do. And you know, and every place you park, the conditions are going to be different. For instance, here, as we've mentioned several times throughout the video, as far as the solar panels are concerned, yeah, I'm going to show them here in a second. We're in the shade all day long. The sun is shining right now. But look up here. Where we are, we're not getting any, just a smidgen of sun on those really not even any kind of sun, because we are in the shade. You can see all the trees up here around us, and of course the sun is right over there, and it's going to follow the sky around that way and set over here.
So we get bits and pieces of sun.
Right, very little.
Well,
right here. Yeah. And you know, if we're sitting on someone's driveway, the charger wouldn't have to work near as hard, because probably, and depending on the time of the year and where we are in the United States, you know, there's so many things that can come into play.
Right.
They can change that. You know, just because you have 800 watts of solar panels on top doesn't mean you're going to be pumping in 800 watts all the time.
Not all the time.
No. Sometimes it's as little as 20 watts.
As we've seen.
Or 0.
Well, the
you know, or 1 or 2. So, you know, that comes into play, of course. What else? I don't know really what else to talk about. Now, I do know that the griddle is a power hog.
The griddle's a power hog.
Yeah, the griddle is a power hog. We possibly could have done better.
Most kitchen appliances are
well, yeah, they are. Yeah, electrical appliances for sure. Yeah,
your coffee pot, your griddle. Yeah. I'm quite sure my the toaster oven, the microwave, and the induction cooktop is probably one of the few that you can control.
Right.
Because you can set the
exactly.
You know, set it down. But most of the things you use in the kitchen that's electrical are power hogs.
Yeah.
And I guess I really never realized
I know,
too much.
But here again, you've got to be selective. You got to think about it. You can't just let everything run all at once. You probably shouldn't run 2 items at once unless if they are both very low draw items. You know, I mean, you just got to think about your appliances when you're living like this. So that is something to consider. Now, can we run the air conditioner? We never ran the air conditioner. We did run the heater for a little bit. And remember, folks, we have a mini split, which is much more efficient.
The mini split takes a lot less juice than the water heater.
Oh, yeah. Even when we run the heat pump side of it, which is all we did for about an hour, the maximum I think it ever drew was around 900 watts or so.
And the water heater.
The water heater got right up there. We really thought it would pull closer to 1,500 watts, but it really nestled in around 13 or so.
But it's so far it was the biggest power hog we had.
Yeah. But on the other side of the coin, you only have to let it run for about 20 minutes or so, and you got hot water.
Right.
You know, then you can shut it back off, let your battery bank recover. So all these things is what the things you need to think about. Now, here again, will we be able to run the air conditioner all day long and all night when we get into you know, middle of the summer, or when we have to run the air? You know, it remains to be seen. And here again, all that comes back to also how much solar we can get during the day, where we're sitting, how much sun we're getting. There's a lot of things that come into play.
But we will be testing that in the near future.
That's right. Yeah. In March, we'll be going to a boondocking location with Marvin and Mary, and they're going to be there to coach us, and we will be shooting a video about that. But that's down the road.
That's down the road.
Yeah. Now, we do have a few more things that we're going to be working on the trailer while we're here at this particular location in the northwest corner of the peninsula of Florida, of the Florida Peninsula, not the northwest corner of the. That's a tongue twister.
I don't even know where the heck you are. I'm in Florida.
I never know where I'm at. But anyway, we got a few more things to do as far as trim work is concerned on the trailer and stuff like that. And the folks at this particular campground are gracious enough to allow us to do that a couple of days a week in the middle of the week when they don't have a lot of people here.
Right, because in the middle of the week it's pretty empty.
Yeah, pretty empty around here. But we're loving it right here. And that's really about all I have to say.
That's it. I think we're going to go for a bike ride here in a little bit.
Yeah. Y'all enjoy the holidays. We hope you're enjoying the holidays. We're going to see you again next year, probably.
Probably next year, yeah.
Well, that's like next week.
I know.
So, anyway, this is Bill and Deb with I Ride Tiny House Adventures. You know what we're going to say. We're not camping.
We're living.
Y'all get out there and do some living yourself, and we will see you again just a little ways down the road. Bye-bye now.